Hi, my name is Lizzie Bristow. I'm a trainer here at East Bank Club in beautiful Chicago. And today I'd like to share with you a workout that I call Regeneration. So this is a workout that you can make into a workout. It can be a warm-up if you go through once, or it can just be a great series of exercises that you can do if you feel like you've been too sedentary for too long. So to get started, we are going to do a plank. So all you need is a timer, and we're going to start with a front plank. So you're going to be down on your elbows, start the timer. You want your elbows to be underneath your shoulder. You want your back to be flat. So you're going to pull your pelvis under, tighten your core, flex those quads, squeeze those glutes, and hold this position strong for 1 minute. Trainers love planks. Why do we love planks? Why do we love isometrics? Well, because if you can maintain proper posture without moving, then you'll probably be better at moving. I know, it's very simple. 30 more seconds to go, holding it here. Now, if you feel like you can't hold it for a minute, you can also just cut that down to 30 seconds. No big deal. Any of these exercises, you feel free to modify. Keep holding, keep squeezing. 15 more seconds to go. Looking good. Hanging out. 10 seconds. Make sure that core is nice and tight. Make sure the elbows are underneath your shoulders. 3, 2, 1. Great job. We're going to reset the timer. We're going to make sure that your elbow is underneath your shoulder. Your hips are going to be stacked, and we're going to hold it here for 1 minute. Notice that I keep my hips up. Try and keep my shoulders in line. Shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles. Now, if this is a little too much on your shoulder or elbow, I want you to bend the knees back and do a bent knee side plank, holding it here. But for those of you that want to challenge and it feels good and healthy, here we go. Now where you should be feeling this is in the oblique, in the bottom, closest to the ground, keeping those hips up. Hold those shoulders back, make sure that you're not crowding. Keep that core tight, looking good. We got 20 more seconds to go. You can put the arm up if you want. You can put it down, doesn't really matter. As long as the hip stays up, looking good. Whew. 10 seconds. Here we go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, good. Let's reset the timer, go to the other side. Stacking our hips on top of each other, toes pointed, elbows underneath your shoulder. Hit, watch, and up we go and hold here. Just hanging out. You can have it up, you can have it down. Just make sure that this shoulder is pulled back. Make sure that the hip is up, it's not sagging. You want to lock out those knees, squeeze the quads, squeeze the glutes. Good posture, everything's in alignment. And just hanging out for 1 minute here. Yeah. So, how's your quarantine going? Is it good? Good. 30 seconds to go. So, isometrics, what this workout is going to do for you is it's increasing the blood flow to these areas. Why that's important is because the longer that you're sedentary, you don't get blood flow to those muscles or those joints. Blood flow is what keeps tissues repaired, keeps those joints healthy and happy. 8 seconds. So this is a great workout you can do to break up the day, start your morning, or if you just feel really sedentary. Good, great job. So we did the front plank, we did a side and side plank. Next we're gonna do the back plank. So this one's really fun. You're gonna be legs straight, hands behind, and you're gonna raise your hips up in the air. Start your timer, ready? 1 minute. Okay, so for this exercise, the back plank, fingertips can be all the way pointed behind while your hips are up. And what that does is it opens up your shoulder girdle, stretches out the bicep, but it can also feel a little bit too much. So if this is too much, turn your fingertips out perpendicular to the side. That'll lessen the pressure in that bicep tendon, still keeping your hips up though. Squeeze the hamstrings and glutes, dig the heels into the ground, looking up to keep your cervical spine in alignment and hold here. Squeeze those triceps. Woo. So while this is a great exercise for your posterior chain, those hamstrings, glutes in the back, it also works to open up the biceps if you have very tight biceps. Like, so this feels so good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, great job. So that was the plank series, which is a part of the core activation in the first bit of the workout. Next, we're gonna go on to our thermogenic, which is simply a lovely science term for increasing our core temperature. So for this one, we're gonna be standing. We're gonna perform all these exercises, repetitions of 10. So first one is called a prisoner squat. You're gonna set your feet, shoulder width apart, toes pointed slightly out, hands are gonna be behind your head, chest is up, shoulders are back. Then you're gonna perform 10 squats, keeping the whole foot on the ground, keep that chest up. It's okay to let your knees go over your toes as long as your heels stay on the ground. Hands behind the head forces you to keep your torso erect instead of falling back, which activates the muscles in your upper back that are made for good posture. 9, 1 more. Great job. Next, we're gonna do lunges. We're gonna travel forward and back, and we're gonna do 5 forward and back on each side. So setting my left foot in the ground, I want you to take a step back in a reverse lunge, and then a step forward. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switching sides, planting my right foot in the ground, step back, or 1, 2, keep that chest up, 3, 4, more, and 5. Great job. Then we're gonna do a crossover lunge. So starting with my hips, starting with my knees underneath my hips, I'm gonna cross my right leg over my body and then come back to the starting position. When I step forward, I'm gonna plant my foot, keep the whole foot on the ground, and come back. We're gonna do 5 on each side. 2, 3, 4, 1 more, 5. Other side. So these exercises are good because they prepare these joints if you're gonna go do a run or a workout or a virtual Zumba class, whatever it may be. When I lunge here and step down, I'm loading the knee in a different position, getting it prepared for exercise. So that's why this is also good for a jump warm up or as a workout in itself. Okay, next one, wide arms. Bring your feet in together, and then you're gonna hop them out to the side, sink down, touch the ground, keep your chest up, and come back up. Here we go, 10 of these, 2, 3, make sure that your feet are flat. Your downstairs neighbors are gonna love this one. 8, 9, 10, wow, great job. That breaks up for our thermogenic. Next up, we're gonna go into a series where we're on the ground, on our backs. So, back to the ground. All these will be performed 10 reps. This one is called our leg raise series. So starting with our knees bent, lengthen one leg out, pull that toe up, hands can be on the ground, keeping the core tight. I want you to bring your leg up, stretch this hamstring, bring it back down 10 times. So every one of these exercises, keep tension in the core. Don't keep it relaxed. Good, switch sides. Lengthen out the other leg, hold that toe up, put pressure in this heel to the ground, come up, squeeze this quad. Good, tension here. Tension simply means you're contracting the muscle to a certain degree. When you contract the muscle, it's activating it, which is increasing blood flow to that area, which is warming up the body, getting you ready, prepared for physical movement. Or if we repeat this more than one time through, it could be a workout. Okay, second exercise in our leg raise series, turn to the side, take your bottom hand, support your neck, stack your hips on top of each other. We're gonna take this top leg and we're gonna raise it up. And when you raise it up, I want you to try and point the toe down so that you're nailing your toe into the other foot. Bring it up and down. So we're activating the group of muscles that abduct the leg away from the body. Abduction is a scientific term for moving away from the midline. And it's also a little bit like a Jane Fonda exercise. Love it. Great job. Then we need to do the antagonist of that movement, the adduction. So you're gonna bend this leg, have it flat, put your hand behind it for support, and then we're gonna raise the bottom leg, squeezing the inner thigh, bringing the leg in towards the midline. 10 here, 2, 3. When you do this, try and point the toe up. So rotating that toe up for 10 here while you raise it. Great job. Let's do the other side. Swinging around, do the other side. My mic. I need to flip it back in. Okay, now on the other side for the leg raise, have your hand cradle behind your neck, have your hips stacked, internally rotate, point this toe in, and we're gonna raise it up for 10 here. Here we go, 2, 3, 4. Make sure while you're raising up, you're also internally rotating, pointing that toe down as much as you can. 2 more. Great job. Now we need to do the antagonist or the opposite, which is the inner thigh. So we're gonna bend this leg, bring it up front, foot flat, raise that inner thigh, squeeze. Try and point the toe up for 3, 4, 5, 6, looking good, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great job. That was the leg raises. Next, we're gonna go on to the superhero series, which is gonna require you to be on your belly. So, from this position here, the first step, we have Superman. So legs are straight, arms are straight. What you're gonna do is raise your legs and your arms simultaneously at the same time, squeezing the whole length of your posterior chain. So hamstrings, glutes, low back, upper back, all at the same time. Then you're gonna relax and come back down. So we're coming up and down. 1, 2, 3, looking good. 4, 5. It's really important with these. I want you to contract everything together at the same time. So have your arms and legs come up together. 1 more. Great job. And from this position, our second exercise is called the tin soldiers. So for this one, you're gonna have your arms behind like this, and you're gonna bring and raise up the opposite leg and the opposite arm, and then back down. I encourage you to grab a towel to put so you can rest your neck and put your head down. For me, I'm just gonna put my hand here, and we're gonna do 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, you wanna try and make everything move together simultaneously. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. And the next one is called a trail leg lift. Same, very similar to the tin shoulder, but you're gonna have your arm out 90 degrees like a goalpost. Opposite leg is gonna bend 90 degrees, and we're gonna raise them up like this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. Switch sides. 90, 90. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, great job. Next, we're going to move into the quadruped series, where you're going to be on your hands and knees. This one is great for glute activation and what we like to call booty makers. So, from this one, we're gonna do all 4 exercises on one hip, and then we'll switch to the other side. So the first exercise I'm gonna do is fire hydrant. So just like a dog at a fire hydrant, I'm gonna bring this leg out and bring it back in for 10. So here we go, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As you just heard my hip hop, these exercises are also good for increasing the the range of motion in your joints, such as your hips when you go through them. Next up, we have hip circles. We're gonna go 10 each direction, keep that knee bent at 90, and draw a big circle with your knee. 5 more. Reverse directions. 8, 9, 10. Then we're moving on to the donkey kick, keeping my knee bent at 90 degrees. Bring that heel up. For this purpose, I want you to stop your leg when it reaches that point. Don't go into hyperextension for this exercise. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, keep my core tight, 8, 9, and 10. Great job. So we had the fire hydrant, circles, circles, and the donkey kick. Then we're gonna switch sides. On the other side, here we go, starting with dog at a fire hydrant. Bring that leg up as high as you can, comfortably. 5 more, keep that core tight. 8, 9, 10. Circles, draw a big circle with that kneecap. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, looking good. 8, 9, and 10. Reverse, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the donkey kick. Take that heel up, keep that knee bent at 92. 3, looking good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great job. While we're on the ground, our last series is called a hip thrust series. So you're going to be on your back, starting with the glute bridge, knees bent at 90. Bring the hips down, gently touch your butt to the ground, and then come back up. So for these, I want you to focus on telling your body to drive your heels into the ground instead of lift your hips up. I want you to imagine that the legs initiate this movement by driving your feet into the ground and separating, opening up these hip flexors. We're just gonna do 10 of those and then single leg for 10. So I'm gonna have my leg up here and we're gonna do 10 here. Now, if you feel like your hamstring is contracting a little bit more than the glute, I want you to pull that foot closer to your butt. And that should feel a lot more glute contraction than hamstring. Whew. Whew. 10 on the other side. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, good, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job. Then our legs are straight. We're gonna actually do a hamstring bridge, which is similar to the back plank. So now that you're familiar with the back plank position, legs are up and straight, hips are up, bring that butt down, and then drive it back up to the starting position for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That one's gonna be harder than it looks. All right, so next up, standing, we're gonna do an exercise for stability. So into our reverse lunge, I want you to step back and then bring it up, grab your shin and bring it up towards your chest. Bring it up. Now, if you feel a little bit unstable for this one, you can definitely hold on to something, or in place, you can just grab and hold. You don't have to add the lunge into it. What you're doing when you're grabbing your knee and pulling it into your chest is we're opening up this hip, and we're also stabilizing all of that good stuff that we just activated earlier in the workout. Now we're applying it with stability. So I want you to do 10 of those on each side. You can add the lunge into a shin cradle if you want, or you can just stand. For 3, 4, just keep that bottom foot, which is my right foot, planted in the ground. Squeezing the glute. Helps keep you stable, keep your core tight. One more. Great job, okay. Okay, great, so now that we challenged your stability and activated all of the proper muscle groups, your body's warmed up, your muscles are activated, next we're gonna move into the dynamic mobility. So now we're gonna open up all these joints that we have in our last preparation for this workout today. So the first one are the head, trunk, and hip circles. Starting with the head circles, I want you to stand up nice and tall, and you're gonna move your neck, give me 5 head rolls in each direction. Try and really just get a good stretch while you're moving, and I don't want you to, while you do this, don't force the joints in any movement, and 5 the other way. You want to move the joint in as much range of motion as it gives you, rather than trying to force it into a position. Good. Your body will respond a lot better if you don't force it into something. So then we're gonna move on to the trunk circles. Keeping your hips still, move the trunk forward and back. Fold yourself forward and back, and really challenge yourself. 3 to try and keep your hips in place. 4 and 5, very good. And other direction for 1, 2, it's kind of hard, 3, to not move your hips, but I really encourage you. And 5, good job. And now we can move the hips. So hands on your hips and move those to the side, keeping the legs straight. Now I definitely feel this one in my low back, especially when I go back. That's 5, reverse. Keeping my feet rooted in the ground and moving these hips as far as they'll go. 1 more. Woo. Great job. Next, we're gonna hop on the ground for the iron cross series. One of my favorites. So, legs are straight, arms are to the side, palms pointed down in the ground, and we're gonna start with the right leg. So, right leg is straight, toes pointed up. You're gonna swing this leg out to your hand and then bring it back. When you do this, have the other leg dig that heel into the ground so you're rooted and stable so this leg can move. And when you move, you're getting a good stretch in this adductor, this groin, this hamstring. Notice I'm rotating my toe towards this hand for 10 reps here. Good. Then we switch sides, the other side, swing it out. I encourage you to move the leg in a way where you can swing it, because you'll notice when you swing it, you'll be able to get more range of motion than if you go through this movement slowly. So you want to have an active, you want to be active with these. Looking good. After the same side, then we're going to go across. So taking that leg, bringing it across, reaching up towards the hand, and then alternating for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one definitely loosens up your low back, but I just let those hips go. Don't fight it. Great job. Then we're gonna flip over to our belly, arms out to the side. This one is called scorpion. So you're gonna reach up, bring the opposite heel to the hand. Again, just letting the hips go. Don't fight it. Do 10 here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and do what you can. Maybe you can't reach your hand, that's okay. It's totally fine to modify it and do this. Great job. All right, and so we're gonna finish up our regeneration workout with my favorite. Now, this one is called a hurdle seat change. So what you're gonna do is have one leg straight and one leg bent, like you are a hurdler about to go over a hurdle. I know, right? Hurdle seat change. So from this position, you're gonna bring both your hands over that straight leg, turn, rotate your body down, and this leg that's straight is going to bend and that leg that's bent is going to straighten. So I'm going to rotate down, bend that leg back, and then reach out forward. Okay, let's do it again. So hands over the straight leg, rotate your body down, keep that leg straight, and stretch. And when you get really good at it, you can kind of add a little flair, speed it up a little bit, and let your body dynamically move into more range of motion through this movement. So I'm not forcing it, I'm just letting it move and stretching. Now, if it's a little bit too much on your knees to hold this position here, no shame, no problem. And just bending this knee back here, and you can still do this bend knee here. So that's one way to get the same stretch out modified. All right, well, thank you for joining me today for this regeneration workout. My name is Lizzie Bristow, and I work at East Bank Club here in beautiful Chicago. I hope that you had a good time.